My name is Isabella Morgan, and for the last 7 years, I've been one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. I've won 2 Oscars, dated A-list actors for the cameras, and built an empire worth over $50 million. But none of that matters anymore because 6 months ago, my entire carefully constructed life fell apart the moment my assistant walked into my Malibu mansion wearing a simple white sundress that made my heart stop. I tried to resist her. God knows I tried. But some hearts refuse to be controlled, even by someone like me who's made a career out of playing pretend. And today, I am going to tell you the truth about what really happened behind the closed doors of my so-called perfect life. Let me take you back to the beginning. It was January 2024, and I had just fired my 5th assistant in 2 years. The tabloids loved to paint me as a nightmare boss, a diva who threw phones and demanded impossible things. The truth was simpler and far more complicated. I fired them because they got too close. They asked too many questions. They looked at me with eyes that saw past the celebrity mask, and that terrified me more than any bad review ever could. My publicist Margaret sat across from me in my living room with that look she always gave me when I'd screwed up again. "Bella, you cannot keep doing this. We need stability. We need someone who can handle you." I wanted to throw my wine glass at her perfectly styled head, but she was right. My career was suffering. I'd missed 2 major interviews because I didn't have anyone coordinating my schedule. My latest film was in post-production hell because I couldn't focus. "Fine," I said, defeated. "Find me someone." "But Margaret, I mean it this time. Someone boring. Someone professional. Someone who won't try to be my friend or leak stories to TMZ or any of that nonsense." She nodded, already scrolling through her phone. "I have someone in mind. Recent graduate from Columbia. Top of her class. Professional background in public relations. Her name is Sophie Chun." Sophie. Even hearing her name for the first time sent something strange through my chest, like a warning bell I was too arrogant to hear. She arrived on a Monday morning at exactly 8 o'clock. I was still in my silk robe, hungover from another pointless party. Hair a mess, makeup smeared. I'd specifically scheduled the interview early to test her. If she couldn't handle seeing Isabella Morgan at her worst, she had no business working for me. But when I opened the door, every calculated test flew out of my mind. Sophie stood there in a navy blazer and black slacks, her dark hair pulled back in a professional bun, glasses framing the most stunning brown eyes I'd ever seen. She was younger than me, maybe 25 to my 32, but she carried herself with this quiet confidence that made me feel like the younger one. "Miss Morgan," she said, extending her hand. "I'm Sophie Chen. Thank you for meeting with me." Her handshake was firm, warm. I held it a second too long. She noticed but didn't comment. That should have been my second warning, but I was already spiraling into something I didn't understand. "Please come in," I managed, trying to sound like the boss I was supposed to be. "Call me Bella." The interview was supposed to last 30 minutes. It went on for 2 hours. Sophie was brilliant, asking intelligent questions about my schedule, my priorities, my career goals. She'd clearly done her research, knew every film I'd made, every award I'd won. But she also asked about things no one else bothered with. "What matters to you outside of work, Bella? What makes you happy when the cameras aren't rolling?" I couldn't answer that question. I didn't know the answer. I'd been performing for so long that I'd forgotten who I was underneath. The silence stretched between us, and I expected judgment in her eyes. Instead, I saw something softer. Understanding, maybe, or pity. I couldn't tell which was worse. "I'll take the job," she said finally, "but only if you promise me one thing." I raised an eyebrow. No one made demands of Isabella Morgan. "What's that?" She leaned forward slightly, and I caught the faint scent of jasmine. "That you'll be honest with me. I can handle difficult. I can handle demanding, but I can't handle lies. If we're going to work together, we do it with honesty." I should have said no. I should have shown her the door right then. Instead, I heard myself say, "Deal." Sophie started the next day, and my life changed in ways I couldn't have imagined. She was everything Margaret promised and more. Within a week, she'd reorganized my entire existence. My calendar made sense. My emails were answered. My house, which had been chaos, suddenly had order. But it wasn't just the professional stuff. Sophie noticed things. Small things. Important things. She learned that I couldn't function without coffee but hated the bitter taste. So she started making it exactly how I needed it, with oat milk and vanilla. She noticed I got anxious before interviews and started doing breathing exercises with me. She saw that I barely ate on busy days and began keeping healthy snacks in her bag. It was like having someone actually see me for the first time in years, and that's when the trouble started. Because with every kind gesture, every knowing smile, every accidental touch when she handed me documents, I felt something growing inside me that I'd spent my entire career burying. I was falling for my assistant, and there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. I'd known I was attracted to women since I was 16. I'd had secret relationships in college, stolen kisses in dark corners, relationships that ended when Hollywood came calling. When I became famous, I made a choice. I dated men publicly. I played the role of the sexy straight leading lady because that's what sold tickets. That's what won Oscars. I told myself I was happy. I told myself it didn't matter who I loved in private as long as I had success. But Sophie made me question everything. The way she laughed at my terrible jokes. The way she defended me to aggressive journalists. The way she looked at me sometimes when she thought I wasn't paying attention, with this intensity that made my breath catch. I started finding excuses to be near her. I'd call her into my home office for unnecessary meetings. I'd ask her opinion on scripts I'd already decided on. I'd invite her to stay late, ordering dinner for two, just so I could talk to someone who actually listened. 3 months in, things escalated. We were in New York for a film premiere, staying at the Plaza. My stylist had dressed me in a stunning emerald gown, diamonds at my throat. But when I walked out of my bedroom, Sophie was the only person I wanted to see. She was sitting on the couch in the suite, wearing a simple black dress, and when she looked up at me, her mouth literally fell open. "Wow," she breathed. "Bella, you look incredible." The way she said my name, like it was something precious, made my heart race. I crossed the room without thinking, sat next to her, close enough that our knees touched. "You look beautiful too, Sophie." She blushed, actually blushed, and looked away. "I'm your assistant. I'm supposed to fade into the background." "You could never fade into the background," I said softly. "Not for me." The air between us changed, charged, electric. Sophie's eyes met mine, and I saw it. That same hunger I'd been fighting. She felt it too. We sat there frozen, the premiere completely forgotten. I don't know who moved first. Maybe both of us. But suddenly her hand was on my cheek, and I was leaning in, and our lips met in a kiss that felt like coming home after being lost for years. It was soft at first, tentative. Then Sophie's hand slid into my hair and I gasped, pulling her closer. She kissed me like I was oxygen and she'd been drowning. Like I was the only real thing in a world of pretend. When we finally broke apart, both breathing hard, I saw panic flash across her face. "Oh my God," she whispered. "Bella, I'm so sorry. That was completely unprofessional. I should resign. I should ... I silenced her with another kiss. "Don't you dare resign. Don't you dare apologize for being the best thing that's happened to me in years." We didn't go to the premiere. We stayed in that hotel suite and talked for hours. Sophie told me about growing up in San Francisco, about coming out to her family at 20, about her dreams of making a difference in the world. I told her things I'd never told anyone. About the loneliness of fame. About the exhaustion of pretending. About how hollow success felt when you had no one real to share it with. Why do you hide who you are? Sophie asked at one point, her head on my shoulder as we watched the city lights. It wasn't an accusation, just a genuine question. I didn't have a good answer. Fear, I guess. Fear of losing everything I've worked for. Fear of judgment. Fear of being seen as less than. Sophie turned to look at me, her eyes serious. "You're already more than enough, Bella, with or without Hollywood's approval." That night changed everything and nothing. We became lovers in secret, stealing moments between meetings, hidden touches when no one was looking. Sophie would stay late at my house and we'd make dinner together, something I'd never done with any of my public boyfriends. She'd read me poetry in bed. We'd watch old movies and debate the acting choices. She made me laugh in ways I'd forgotten were possible. But the hiding ate at me. Every red carpet where I had to bring some actor as my date while Sophie waited in the background killed a piece of my soul. Every interview where I had to lie about my relationship status felt like a betrayal. Sophie never complained. She understood the game. But I could see it hurting her too. The way her smile didn't quite reach her eyes when photographers shouted questions about my love life. The breaking point came 4 months into our relationship. I was shooting a new film, a romantic drama where I played a woman torn between two men. The irony wasn't lost on me. During a particularly intense kissing scene with my male co-star, I looked over and saw Sophie watching from behind the monitors. The pain on her face destroyed me. That night, I found her packing her bags in my guest room. "What are you doing?" I asked, though I already knew. "I can't do this anymore, Bella," she said quietly, not looking at me. "I love you, God help me, I love you so much it hurts. But I can't be your secret. I can't watch you pretend to love other people while I'm hidden away like something shameful. I deserve more than that. And honestly, so do you." I wanted to argue. I wanted to tell her she was wrong, that we could make it work. But she was right. We both deserved more. I had 2 choices. Let her walk away and go back to my safe, hollow life. Or risk everything for something real. For the first time in my career, I chose love over fear. "Don't go," I whispered. "Please don't go. Give me 2 weeks. I'm going to fix this." Sophie looked at me skeptically. "How, Bella? How are you going to fix years of hiding?" I took her hands in mine. "I'm going to tell the truth. All of it. I'm going to come out publicly and I'm going to tell the world about us. I'm going to stop being afraid." And I did. I called Margaret, who nearly had a heart attack. I called my team, who tried to talk me out of it. But I was done listening to fear. 2 weeks later, I posted a photo on Instagram. It was Sophie and me, sitting on my Malibu deck at sunset, her head on my shoulder, both of us smiling like we discovered something precious. The caption was simple. "This is Sophie. She's my assistant, my best friend, and the love of my life. I'm done hiding who I am. I'm done pretending. This is me. This is my truth." The internet exploded. Some people were supportive, celebrating and sending love. Others were vicious, calling me a liar and a fraud. I lost endorsement deals. One of my upcoming films threatened to recast me, but I also gained something far more valuable. I gained myself. I gained the freedom to love openly. I gained Sophie, who stood by me through every storm. That was 6 months ago. Today, Sophie and I live openly together. Yes, my career took a hit initially. But slowly, things are rebuilding. I'm getting offered different roles now. Better roles, characters with depth and truth. Directors who want authentic performances, not just a pretty face. And I've discovered that audiences actually respond to honesty. My latest film, where I play a lesbian attorney fighting for justice, is getting Oscar buzz. Not because I'm playing pretend, but because I finally know what it feels like to live truthfully. Is it scary sometimes? Absolutely. There are still hateful comments, intrusive paparazzi, and people who think my sexuality is their business. But when I come home to Sophie, when I can kiss her freely, when I can introduce her as my girlfriend without hesitation, it's all worth it. She didn't just steal my heart. She gave me back my life. If you're watching this and you're hiding who you are, whether it's your sexuality, your dreams, or any part of yourself you're afraid to show the world, I want you to know something. The fear is real, but the freedom on the other side is worth it. You deserve to live authentically. You deserve to love openly. You deserve to be seen for who you truly are, not who you think you should be. And if my story helped you in any way, if it gave you courage or hope or just made you feel less alone, please hit that subscribe button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment telling me your story, because I promise I read them all. Leave a comment telling them all. This channel is about real stories, real people, real love, and I'm just getting started sharing mine. Sophie taught me that love isn't something to hide in shadows. It's something to celebrate in daylight. And every single day with her is a reminder that the best role I ever played was finally deciding to stop acting and start living. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And remember, your truth is worth fighting for, no matter what it costs. Until next time, this is Isabella Morgan, reminding you that the greatest love stories are the ones we have the courage to live out loud.